Hi, happy Sunday. Welcome back to my channel. The channel is Total Woman, 90 Days to a Healthier You. My name is Consuelo, and I'm returning to upload a video to get you started on your journey. I want to tell a little bit about the journey. Again, as I stated in the video earlier, that this challenge is for those women that are 40 plus who find it hard to lose weight, that battle with obesity, emotional eating, or what have you. But what I found that when you reach 40 or older, and I am 40 plus, be 50 this year if it's God's will. But I found that when you reach a certain age, it's kind of hard for you to get those stubborn pounds off, right? And no matter how many weight loss methods that are out there, some people revert back to the same size or maybe gain a little more weight, myself being one. I've tried everything except the surgery, and nothing against anyone, but let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out there. This channel and this program is not designed to heal, or it's not designed to heal any diseases. It's not designed to cure you from any diseases. It's not designed to change anything internally. I'm not a physician. um, I'm just a certified health and wellness nutritional coach, and I'm sharing what worked for me. What worked for me was measuring my food. I've been abstinent from sugar for 5 months. And what I learned that when I started measuring my food, it took me away from sugar. I stopped craving it. I still was kind of eating bread. And that was the thing, eating bread. And starting this journey back over again today, because it's 90 days and I do it usually to walk women through. But staying on it for a lifetime is really the key here. And so this time I'm not doing any bread. I'm coming off the bread completely. So I found that being abstinent from sugar, I'm down 65 to 70 pounds. And so they have helped me a whole lot. I haven't drinking any coffee, anything like that. I came off coffee as well. I was one that I had to have my coffee in the morning. I had to have my caramel macchiato cream. And I had to have me some sugar, not too sweet, but I still had to have sugar. And what I found that now that I don't eat any sugar, that I can taste it in anything. If I maybe eating something and I may look, it may be a seasoning. That's how I was able to spot it in my salmon seasoning. And I turned around, like, this tastes sweet, but it's so good. But when I turned around, that was the first ingredient, sugar. I've been buying it for years and never paid attention to it. But the moment I came off sugar, I was able to taste that sugar. So we're going to get into it. What I'm going to do is every Sunday, I'm going to load a video. I'm not going to overload you with so much talking, because right now I'm just kind of giving it to you verbally, but I'm going to upload it with a little bit of talking, but I'm going to upload it with videos of how I measure my food, or how I prep my food. And again, I do have an ebook that is optional. You can get the ebook off my website, www.buildingkingdomwealth.com. It's optional. You don't have to. But if you feel that you want to along this journey, after you complete the first 90 days and you decide, I'm going to do it again, or you decide you want to stick with it for a lifetime, you will have that as a guide for you. I'm going to talk about what you're going to need. You're going to need a scale. You can get a scale from Walmart to measure your food, your meals. I bought mine a few years ago from Amazon, and I just started using it to measure my meals about 5 or 6 months ago. I used to measure my meals, but learning to measure my meals is what started making me successful in the weight loss. And going to my doctor, I had a physical, got another physical coming up soon. But when I went to my physical last year, she was like, what are you doing? I shared it. She was like, wow, why everyone can't do that? Because she saw this what works for me. Diet, medicine, all that stuff just didn't work for me. And the reason why, because my mindset wouldn't change. I started back eating those same things and started back going back to those same old habits. I hear that, 21 days it takes 21 days to break or form a habit. But I've also heard it take anywhere from 30 to 60. So 90 days is what works. If you can do something for 30, you can get to 60. And if you're doing 60, you can get to 90. Just know it works. My siblings, a couple of sisters, want to join me because they watch what I do and they see that it's working for me. Even though they're not obese, but they want to lose about 20 pounds. And I understand. So some people jump on and say, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds. But me, it's a lifestyle. And for those of you that are obese and that have struggled, it's a lifestyle for you as well. And I'm here to help you on this journey. Let's get into it. I want to tell you the difference between measurements. So what I did is I write down my things, again, like I said, I wrote everything for you in the ebook. I put it in the ebook for you. But if you don't have a scale, a food scale, then I want you to know the difference between your cup. What you're going to need, we're only working with 1 ounces, 4 ounces, and 6 ounces. Keep in mind those are only, and 2 tablespoons. That is what we're working with. So if you have measuring cups, you need a 2 tablespoon measuring cup. Because if you have that cup, that little kit, that little set, you'll have a half a tablespoon, and you have a tablespoon to come with it. So I used a tablespoon. I used the 3/4 cup, and then I also use the half a cup if I'm not using my scale. But if I'm using my scale, of course, I can measure my 4 ounces on my scale. I can measure my 6 ounces on there, and as well as my 1 ounce. But for measuring cup, I always know that for a 6 ounce, it's a 3/4 cup, and a 4 ounce is a half a cup, and a 1 ounce is a 1/8 cup. Okay, a 1 ounce is a 1/8 cup. So keep in mind those are the measurements that we're working with here. Okay, now we've gotten it out the way. So I'm going to give you the meal plan that I use for breakfast. Now you can meal prep 2 days at a time, or you can do 3 days at a time. To me, after doing it for a couple of weeks, I found that eating the same thing for 3 days, well, I've always been that way. I don't really like leftovers for 3 days. After 2 days, I'm like, I don't want no more leftovers. And so meal prepping, I thought it would be different if I meal prep something for 3 days, but I found the same thing. I get bored with it after the 3rd day. So what I do is I only prep for 2 days at a time, which works for me. Now, we're going to get into the plan, the meal plan. Again, these are the vegetables and things that you want to the fruit that you want to stay away from. If much as possible, stay away from flour and sugar, because those two together, if you ever research what flour and sugar together do, that can also, personally, my opinion, can become addictive, and it make you crave. One thing I've learned that when I ate sweets, I craved bread. And then I learned that when I crave bread, I didn't really crave so much of sweets, but every time I ate some sweet, I crave bread. When I started craving bread, eating bread, I started craving sweets. And I wanted pasta, so I like pasta. But having to stay away from that type of stuff and staying away from 90 days really worked for me, being now 65 to 70 pounds. And now I got about 75 more pounds to go. Actually, I want to lose 100 more pounds. I think that's what I'm going to do, lose 100 more. And I'm going to lose it this year. I have a goal. I always set little small goals for myself on what I want to lose per week. Keep in mind, they say women can only lose 2 pounds per week. Men can lose up to 5 pounds per week. I don't know. All I know is with your body, it varies. What worked for you may not work for them. I do know that the less I've lost in a month was 15 pounds. I'm sorry. And then the most I lost was like 25 pounds. But I noticed when I first started this, I noticed it came out. I was down like 15.8 pounds. I actually started like the middle of the month though. And that was the thing. I started the middle of the month. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But I started like in the middle of the month. And when I started in the middle of the month, I still was down the next month about 15.8 miles. I started I think like the 3rd week of the month. And I was down the next month. So really like within 3 weeks, I was down like 15.8 pounds. And so I encourage you to measure yourself once a month. Now, for those of you like me that want to get on the scale once a week, that's okay. But if that's something that you're going to continue to do, don't do it. I have to pull away from it and just stay away from just say, okay, I'm going to measure myself on the 8th of every month. Measure yourself on the 8th of every month if that works for you. Measure yourself on the 1st of every month. Just measure yourself once a month. But what I've learned is I buy something smaller and I measure myself by clothes. If I don't see the scale moving fast enough, I go and buy me a size clothes, which I do. I bought a pair of pants last year, and I couldn't even get them past my knees. Now I get them bad boys up and buckle them. That's what I do. I buy a size smaller. So if you're in a 16, go buy your size 14. If that's the goal, if that's the size you're trying to get in. And then the next time, and once you get into 14, then go buy your size 12 so you can get into your size 12. But if you're 18, then go and buy your size 16. This is just what works for me. I'm just giving you what works for me. What works for me may not work for you. But if you try it, I'm pretty sure, it may work. You won't know until you try it. Okay. Now we're going to get into what I usually eat for breakfast. For breakfast, I usually eat 6 ounces of yogurt, none fat yogurt. But I have to do non-dairy because I was doing dairy and it kind of I'm staying away from dairy. And so now I do non-fat. So, now I do non-dairy. I'm sorry, non-dairy. So I do 6 ounces of yogurt, 1 ounce of oatmeal, and 6 ounces of fruit. Now you can do 1 ounce of grits, plain grits. You know, I don't like grits like that. I'm being honest. And so when I would eating grits, I had to have some cheese and some salt and pepper and butter, all the extra stuff in it. But a little whipping cream. Now, on this 90 days to a healthier you want to stay away from all of that. Okay. Um, Before I get back to breakfast, let me throw out what you want to stay away from as well. No flour, no sugar, no corn, no bananas, no mangoes. You don't want to eat any of that your first 90 days. And you're going to always have 6 ounces of fruit. You're going to have that one serving of the 6 ounces of fruit per day, and that's for your breakfast. You're going to always have 2 servings of meat per day, and that's 4 ounce serving, one for lunch and one for dinner. And then you're going to always have 2 servings of 6 ounce of vegetables. So you're going to have 6 ounces of vegetables for lunch, 6 ounces of green vegetables for dinner. And then you're going to always have a 6 ounce salad. 6 ounces, two per day. So you're going to have 6 ounces for lunch and 6 ounces for dinner. So keep in mind, 1 serving of fruit per day, that's 6 ounces of fruit. And that's for breakfast. Then you're going to have 2 servings of meat, that's for lunch and dinner. Then you're going to have 2 servings of 6 ounce green vegetables, that's for lunch and dinner. And then you're going to have 6 ounces, two salads for lunch and dinner, 6 ounces. Let me go over that again because I want to confuse you. You're going to only have 2 salads a day. You're going to only have 2 servings of green vegetables per day. You're going to have 2 servings of 4 ounces of meat per day. And you're going to have 1 6-ounce serving of fruit per day. Okay, follow me? Okay. 1 ounce of yogurt. 1 ounce of oatmeal for breakfast. And 1 ounce of oatmeal for breakfast. And 6 ounces of yogurt and 6 ounces of fruit. Now, I mix mine all together. Now, what I found that eating them separate, it's okay, but I mix them together, put them in the refrigerator like a little parfait. That way, for breakfast, I just grab it out and I just eat it that way. Now, keep in mind, measure your oatmeal after you cook it. And let me tell you why. Because if you're measuring your oatmeal before you cook it, you're going to get more ounces, even though it's going to measure up to 1 ounce. But when you cook it in this pan, it may be 1.5 ounces. It may, maybe 2 ounces. Because when you add the water and oatmeal swell, it expands. It expands. And so you don't want to measure your oatmeal while it's uncooked. Because I did that. Measure your oatmeal while it's cooked. Okay? You have your measuring cups. You have your scale. That's for breakfast. You can do that for 2 days. You can start tonight. Prep it for Monday and Tuesday. Okay? And then, but I'm going to go ahead and throw you out the 6 days. So that way you can meal prep what I'm telling you now for Monday, Tuesday. And then what I'm going to give you again, you can do it for Wednesday and Thursday. And then you do it Thursday and Friday. And then you can do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's what I usually do. If I meal prep for Monday, Tuesday, and then I prep for Wednesday and Thursday, well, what I eat, and then I prep Friday and Saturday. And then I turn around and usually prep what I ate for Saturday for Sunday too, since I'm finna get ready to make a video again. So usually I will prep Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I do the 3 days. But the other days I do 2. Okay, make it easier for you for your week. We started the day, which is January the 7th. 7 is completion. 8 is new beginnings. First off, I want to tell you as well, Matthew 6:33 tells us to seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness first, and all things will be added unto us. Every day, every week, I'm going to give you a scripture to meditate on. This helps me. This may help you. But I do know that mixing this with faith and fitness, because I have a faith and fitness 21-day challenge as well that I do. And we mix it with prayer and faith and everything. To me, I can't live my life without Christ. That's my life. He's the head of my life. And I notice that when I fast and pray and follow Christ even more, my meal plans, everything fall in place and the weight come off easier. I lose weight easier because I'm happier, I'm thriving. And what I've learned that when you begin to lose weight, you begin to live. You no longer exist. You begin to live because when you get in the mirror, you start seeing your body changing. You start seeing your skin changing because your skin clear. Because a lot of people say, you have nice skin, like you're glowing. I can tell some days when I'm glowing, like if I didn't eat any meat in my meal plan, because keep in mind that if I substitute eggs or pinto beans for my protein, I may do that. That's why I said the ebook helps those that, whether you're vegan, whether you eat meat, whether you're a vegetarian, because I have it catered to all types. But right now, me doing it here on YouTube, and it's 90 days to a healthier you. I'm doing it, because, this way. And you can take away the meat, but keep in mind, any, any, ounce, any, 4 ounces of beans, dry beans, that can be your protein. So sometime I may not, for lunch and dinner, I may eat pinto beans, and I do 6 ounces of cabbage, and then I do 6 ounces of salad. And then I do the same thing for lunch. Like if I'm not, don't want no meat those 2 days. Cause sometimes I get tired of eating meat. Sometimes, I want it. But I also found it easier. What I do is when I do my chicken breast, I measure those out for 2 days. I usually just put that on top of my salad after I measure it though. I don't do 4.2, 4.5. Don't cheat yourself. Make sure it's a 4.0. And with your 2 tablespoons, I use Newmans. I'm gonna tell you which dressing. I use 2 tablespoons of Newmans vinaigrette dressing. Now I didn't like it at first, but once I started eating for that week, after about the first week, going into the second week, it began to change my palate. So once it began to change my palate, I stopped craving for the Thousand Islands and the Italian salad dressing, because Olive Garden got one of the good. Anyway, so I started eating the Newmans, and it works, and it's changed my palate. And what I've learned, that when you start eating bitter stuff and eating things like that, it changes your palate. So also another good thing, pickles. Right now, like I said, we're not snacking in between meals because you're going to do this for 90 days. After the 90 days, then we can incorporate the snacks, right? But right now, you're only doing 3 meals a day. And it looked like, it's 6 meals in 3. It's like 6 small meals in 3 big meals. It's just teaching you how to eat. Because once you start going out occasionally, eating out in moderation, then you'll be able to eyeball what you eat when you go out into restaurants. But right now, try to stay away from restaurants. What I would do is when my grandson play football, or any sport, when I would go, my children would tell, I got me a lunch bag, and I take my meals with me, and it makes it easier so I won't crave anything at the vending, the concession stands. And I have my water. And during the summertime, what I do, when it was kind of warm, actually it's still, guess we're going to fall, but it's still kind of warm around in August, I will freeze my water. My 33, I do 33.7 ounce bottles of water. I may do 2 of them a day. Sometimes I find myself drinking 3 a day, 64 ounces of water or more. But I will freeze them so that when I was out in the sun, it'd be good and cold. It unthaws that way, and that's what I would do. And it works for me. So you want to find what works for you. Okay. Again, I'm going to go through this meal plan again. And I told you what to stay away from. But during the week, I'm going to upload another video showing you a free little exercise that I do, whether I'm at home or whether I'm at the gym, that it's not really high impact, especially those of us that don't want to lay on the ground doing those squats. I'm going to show you an easy way to do your squats. You just need some weights and a bench and a weight bench. I'm going to show you that, so that way if you don't get to go out at the gym, you can do these things at home, and that's going to help you with your exercise. Of course, there's many of exercise videos on YouTube, and being that I'm a Zoom instructor as well, I haven't did it in a while, but me and the kids do it here at the house from time to time. And about 30 minutes of that, you good and tired. And so you get up and start your day, exercise, prayer. I say start your day with prayer. Start your day with exercise because, again, Matthew 6:33 teaches us to seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness first. We seek him and his righteousness first. All things will be added unto us. So you notice that when you begin to seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness first, all things start falling in line. And that's what works for me. Not just affirmation, but declarations. Job 22:28 tells us that thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and thy light shall shine upon thy way. So what are you decreeing and declaring? Start decreeing and declaring things over your life. Death and life is in the power of the tongue, and those that love will eat the fruit thereof. In the beginning, God spoke heaven and earth into existence. He said, let there be light, and there was light. But he separated light from dark, right? And so you're able to frame your world out of your mouth. Now, you can't go out there and create a sea or heaven or earth, but what you can do is create your world. You can frame your world out of your mouth, because what you speak is what you get. Glory to God. Ephesians 2:2, if you're going to read the word, it says that Satan is the prince of the power of the air. So what do you put in the airways for the enemy to hear and bring back into your life? Don't curse yourself. Speak life. So if you want to lose this weight, begin to declare it. And what I do is I speak it. I say, I'm going to lose 5 pounds this week. And I decree and I declare it. And so I I know what I got to do to lose that 5 pounds. And I set that goal for myself. This week I'm losing 5 pounds. Whether they say 2 pounds, we can say, no, I'm losing 5 pounds. And guess what? The weight that I've lost, now I've been stagnant because I kind of was like swaying, but I didn't go back eating sugar. But now starting back over doing the 90 days, it's making me go back down. I didn't gain none. I just kind of, like plateau, stagnant. But the moment you continue on, you lose the weight and you keep it off. Doesn't that feel good to lose weight? 65 pounds, 70 pounds is a lot. 70 pounds, and I think I've lost about 15 inches with that. And now when I order my boots, because of my wide calves, I don't have to get the extra wide. I'm able to just get the wide, right? And I'm on my calves because I have big calves muscles, and people notice that when I go out, they be like, "Oh, you done lost a lot of weight." Even when they hug me, like when I leave church, they'll hug my waistline. They say, "Your waistline." I'm gonna show it. But right now, like I said, this is just a quick video to get you guys started, because we're starting today. Prep your meals today for Monday and Tuesday, and that is why I'm giving you the meal plan. Again, I'm going to upload a video every Sunday, so that way I'm going to follow you out through your 90 days. So you're going to have me here uploading videos every Sunday, and then through the middle of the week, I'm going to try to upload a video with me meal prepping my meals for 1 or 2 days, just so you see how I'm doing it, as well as a couple of videos, and also kind of giving you some videos that are out there that can give you a 15 to 30 minute workout. You want to at least 30 minutes a day of cardio. I love lifting weights because I don't like being flabby. So when I lose weight, I don't really flabby, So I love doing leg press and curls and things like that, and squats, because I know that, you start losing your everything starts forming. But anyway, again, you only are required to have 2 salads per day, and that's with each meal, lunch and dinner. 6 ounces, no meat, all vegetables. What I've learned, that when I start adding the tomatoes and the cucumbers and the bell pepper and all that, it makes it heavier. So if you want a lot of lettuce, I realize when I have more lettuce, I only can get a little tomato, cucumbers, and bell peppers. Sometimes you want a little more of those. So then instead of doing 4 ounces of lettuce, I would do about 3 ounces of lettuce, or 3.5 ounces of lettuce, and the rest of it would be like the 2 tomatoes, cucumbers, and bell peppers, and that give me my 6 ounce salad. The salad dressing is not included in that 6 ounces, because you have that 6 ounce salad, but then you have that 2 tablespoons. You make sure you're measuring your salad dressing. Only 2 tablespoons of salad dressing, and you're gonna realize that's more than enough. And then put that on your salad and you eat it. So keep in mind that you're gonna have 1 ounce of oatmeal. You're gonna have 6 ounces of yogurt, non-fat, non-dairy. You can do dairy or non-dairy. And then you're going to have 6 ounces of fruit. You get 6 ounces of fruit per day. 6 ounces of fruit, that's it, right? And then for lunch, you're going to have 4 ounces of meat of your choice. And then you're going to have 6 ounces of green vegetables, your choice, what is collards, cabbage, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, whatever. And then you're going to have, but no beans, because beans are considered a protein. Let me repeat that. No beans. And if you're going to have 4 ounces of beans, then don't have your meat. And then add your collard, 6 ounces of collards, and a 6 ounce salad. No beans. You don't want any dry beans unless you're going to substitute that for your meat. You're not going to have any eggs on your salad, because eggs is considered a protein. Okay? So let's go over it again. You're going to have 1 ounce of oatmeal cooked. You want to make sure that you measure your oatmeal while it's cooked. You're going to have 6 ounces of fruit only for breakfast. And that's only that 6 ounces per day. And then you're going to have the 6 ounces of non-fat yogurt. And then for lunch, you're going to have 4 ounces of meat. You're going to have 6 ounces of green vegetables like asparagus, asparagus, cabbage, collards, anything like that, green vegetable. And then you're going to have a 6 ounce salad, no eggs, nothing but vegetables, but make sure it's 6 ounces. And then you're going to have that 2 tablespoons of Newmans vinaigrette dressing. Okay, Newmans vinaigrette dressing. That is what you're going to have. And then for dinner, you're going to have 4 ounces of meat of any kind. And then you're going to have 6 ounces of green vegetables and 6 ounces of salad. And then your 2 tablespoons of Newmans vinaigrette dressing. And that is it for today. I hope this helped you. I'm going to upload another video in the middle of the week. And then every Sunday around 7 o'clock, between 7 and 8 o'clock, I'm going to post a video to get you started on your next week. God bless you, and you guys take care, and I'll see you on this 90-day journey to a healthier you. God bless.